And that check also includes the proposers. The chairperson requested to stand up to check also that they are registered voters. And that the aspirant, as required by the Presidential Elections Act, the law, that the aspirant has the minimum level of education required in the law, which is a minimum of A level or senior 6. So they will be checking those papers to confirm that the aspirant went to school. The technical teams who are checking these particular we thank members of the press for keeping the country, keeping the citizens of Uganda fully abreast with what is happening here. On EC ground, Electoral Commission grounds in Rweza, Rubowa. Those who may have just joined and following, the place here where we are, where the commission is the place where the headquarters of the Electoral Commission are going to be established, and already the commission has seized these grounds It's the first time the nomination of presidential candidates is taking place on a permanently owned grounds of your electoral commission. So from now onwards, going forward, this is these are the grounds where the presidents of Uganda will be nominated from, starting with these ones of the 2025-26 general election. Previously, this exercise would take place in different places. But everyone who has come here so far, since the exercise of nominations started yesterday, says this is the best place. Some have actually wanted to stay here. But the commission informs them that the nomination is over, then you can proceed. So these are your grounds. These are the grounds of the people of Uganda.
Our distinguished guests, we've been verifying the papers of the aspirant, and we are satisfied he has met the criteria spelled out under the Presidential Elections Act. Accordingly, I, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, being the returning officer for the nomination of presidential candidates, declare Mugisha Gregory Muntu Oyera a duly nominated candidate in respect of the presidential elections 2026, he having fulfilled the nomination requirements under the Presidential Elections Act, Chapter 179, Laws of Uganda. You are now a candidate, Mr. Mugisha Muntu. May I now request your agent to come and pick the nomination paper for your signature confirming that you are now duly nominated. Either you sign or your agent can sign, whichever you choose. Agent, come and pick this. Thank you. You can do. As a duly nominated candidate, you are required to observe or implement the following. 1, you are to appoint an official agent who will coordinate your campaign meetings and media program, and also attend meetings on your behalf where necessary. Secondly, you are to avail the Commission with the schedule of your campaign meetings and media program as soon as practicable to facilitate the smooth harmonization of all the candidates' campaign programs countrywide. And thirdly, you have to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Electoral Commission on compliance with the harmonized campaign program, timelines, and the guidelines. Congratulations, candidate Mugisha Muntu Gregory Muntoyera. There are two more functions you have to perform. First of all, as a commission under the law, we are required to avail you a soft copy of the voters' register, which we have now. Your agent can come and pick it as well. It is here. The law also commands us to avail you security 24-hour round security at home, on the road, and anywhere. For that matter, we are going to hand over to you your security vehicle together with your security personnel or detail. Thereafter, you are at liberty to address the press and the country if you wish. Can we now go and hand over your vehicle to you, Mr. Candidate?
You'll wait, the commission will lead you. Candidate Mugisha Muntu, the commission is going to lead you to your security detail and vehicle. And after that, the center for the press, for briefing the press, is just near where the vehicle will be available to you.
Afternoon is just 10 minutes past 1, and we are still talking matters concerning presidential nominations for the general elections of 2026, and this is day 2. Yes, and what is going on? What you see on your screen is the flag bearer, who is Honorable Mugisha Muntu, who has been duly nominated and certified by the Electoral Commission, as announced by the Lord Chairman for the EC, who is Justice Simon Biavakama. What you had just witnessed is him being handed to his security detail, which is inclusive of a driver and then also an escort and a car. And these, by the way, the costs are met by the Electoral Commission, inclusive of his security detail. Further, is security provided to him at his home and wherever he goes, unless he goes out of the country, that the security will not be provided or will not be applicable. So what we are going to just have a look at is him addressing the media.
Communications you are doing for the benefit of the citizens all over the country. I also take this opportunity to thank God for enabling us to get the nominations which we've just had a few minutes back. We've gone through some hurdles, but that is now water under the bridge. We are now candidates. Myself and all colleagues and supporters of the party that is Alliance for National Transformation. Let me also take this opportunity to thank the supporters all over the country who gave us signatures. You know, we've done 3 rounds. Even when the first round there were questions, second round within a day, we got another 60 districts. The last round, they were asking for 10. We got 16 districts. And the beauty of it all was that we weren't getting these signatures just from members of the party, but also from many other Ugandans who belong even to other parties, but who have come to recognize the Alliance for National Transformation as a party that is focused on building institutions or rebuilding them because they've been broken down. They have recognized the Alliance for National Transformation as a party that believes in the building of systems that deliver services, systems that enable the country to function. And we are glad, because in 2021, we participated. Our participation then was to sow seeds. I would like to believe, if it's the will of God, that this time around is going to be a time of harvest. "63 years of independence, even for human beings. At 63, you've gone through quite a number of stages. You came from a baby, a toddler, and then you start walking and running, and you go through teenagers, and then you become middle-aged, you become old. You do a number of things through that whole process. A country at 63 should not be operating as if we are still in teenagers. We are stuck, been stuck in a vicious cycle, 63 years. Saying things is easy. And as we do as politicians, all over the world, by the way, one thing we do is just say things. The biggest challenge that I notice, and I believe many people notice, is the inconsistency between what we say and what we do. Because every time when there is conflict between theory and practice, there is bound to be conflict. You don't see it only here in this country, you see it in the region, you see it on this continent, you even now see it in a number of other countries globally. We have a problem. There's absolutely no reason why a country like Uganda, well endowed in terms of fertile soils, in terms of the wealth that we have underground, gold, copper, tin, bauxite. Now we've even got rare earth minerals. That a country like this, you could still find poverty anywhere in this part of the country. Freshwater bodies, River Nile, which runs from the source of the Nile until where it exits near Nimle, along that whole patch. You don't find any commercial agriculture or irrigation is used other than the big plantations of sugar in ginger. That's a reflection of the ineptness or sheer irresponsibility on the part of the political class in this country. Because when I talk about this, I'm not only talking about the current regime. We only had hope, those of us went the bush to fight for 5 years. And we took power. And we condemned all things that had happened before. And we believed that there was a cutoff point that we were going to redirect politics and the management of the economy of this country into a new direction. Unfortunately, that has not come to be. And here again, we are in this very mess with a country that is literally broken. Institutions compromised, systems broken down, and worst case, the population itself has been brought down to its knees. General Museveni was here. I think he has been nominated as a candidate. I think for the 7th time. I keep hearing him talk about moving to middle income. It's not about middle income. It's not about GDP. It's not about all nature of things. However much any economy anywhere on this planet grows, if a population to whom that economy is supposed to serve is broken, then you wonder, where is your focus? Because we have seen countries that have got roads better than we have. More kilometers of tarmac roads, more capacity in terms of power generation and distribution, better cities, water systems that supply all citizens in the country, better educational systems, stronger armies, but they all broke down. You can check them out. They are there. Libya is the best example here on this continent. Country like Zimbabwe, Ivory Coast in West Africa. When you focus on the things which are seen by the eye, and you don't focus on how to develop the people to whom these things are supposed to serve, you're focusing on the wrong direction. And that's why I would like to ask the Ugandan people to retire General Museveni this time around in a peaceful way, because he cannot take this country any further beyond where we are now. Every moment he stays in office, the country is going to get deeper and deeper into problems. Why so? Because if you have got citizens who have reached a point to ask for money, even when they are going to put a signature on nomination of a candidate who is supposed to go and help them get out of their problems, you know there's a problem in that country. When you see a ruling party, because the party is the one which runs government, in a stretch of 3 months in which they were conducting their primaries, which culminated into Kololo, where they stripped themselves naked in broad daylight, and it showed who they are. In Kololo. Unless the population is blind, unless the population, if our citizens are willful captives, then they can continue with General Museveni and NRM, because Kororo would have been enough for the country to retire that group in power. Because in Kororo, they were electing SEC. SEC is the Central Executive Committee of the ruling party. And people were being bought like you buy goats in a market. An extension of General Museveni and NRM by the citizenry, if the citizenry chooses to do so, it's just you are being led by goats. There is evidence. Anybody can go and check it out. It was done in broad daylight. There were 300 plus petitions all over the country in the primaries of NRM. We all want a better future. I have no doubt about that. I know that there is a deep desire within our people to have a better future, where systems function, where if anybody cheats you, maybe takes your land, even if you don't have money, that you can access investigative capacities of a police, that nobody would ask you for a bribe, that nobody would intimidate you, whether they have money, whether they're in power, and that you can go to the courts of law, and that the DPP's office can also carry out prosecutions in a transparent way, so that a citizen would feel secure in the knowledge that the law protects them. That's not there. That's not there. Right now, anybody who has money or is in a position where he can have soldiers do anything with it, that's what they call impunity. That's the impunity that caused the coup in '71 when the first Obote regime was removed. That's the impunity that caused the thrashing of the regime in '79. Same impunity that caused the second fall of the UPC regime. Rutwa only took 6 months, so there wasn't even enough time, I think, for him to do anything. So we took power, and we thought that would be the end of impunity. Now it has been reorganized in a more systematic way. One thing I can get my cap off for General Museveni: he has deliberately, consciously, persistently done what he has always desired in his heart. So I take off my cap for him. He has broken our people. In such a sophisticated way that even those who are broken are still running around him. That's what the country is. We offer ourselves as a solution to that mess. First, we don't look at infrastructure as the primary factor. We don't look at roads, we don't look at bridges, we don't look at power generation and distribution. We don't look at health services, we don't look at educational institutions. We don't look at rail. We look first and foremost as the primary factor of the development process, the human being, the citizen. Because there's nothing that can contradict the logic that the human resource factor is the central core to any development process. So even when we look at education, quality healthcare services, agriculture for purpose of food security and nutrition, as facilitating factors to that core, the human being, the citizen, the human resource capacity. Because when you concentrate on that human being, you educate them well, you skill them, you ensure that they are healthy, that they are well fed. The sky is the limit. There is nothing they will not do. Even getting to the moon, they would get there. Because those who have gone there are not any better than we are. That's going to be our focus. And we are going to be launching our manifesto in a couple of days. But I'm bringing out the most salient factor. General 7 keeps talking about peace. That all these things that are happening is because of peace. He's confused a bit because we have digressing. Our understanding of peace is at variance. He thinks peace is law and order. Peace is not the absence of war, as I heard him talk about it 2 days ago. Peace is the presence of justice. If you got injustices in a country and you don't have
Sorry about Sorry about that. I hope you are back on air. Let's say something and let's use this one.
Amendments do we have? It looks that we don't have adequate time. I think as we go to our headquarters where we're going to move from here, and when we launch our manifesto in a couple of days, we'll exhaust what we are talking about. But as I conclude, peace is not the absence of war. Peace is the presence of justice. You can have an army, you can have intelligence services, you can have police as we do have them, as we've had them even in the past. As many African countries has had them. But when there is no justice, eventually you will find that you have been building on quicksand. We intend to build sustainable peace in this country because we want to focus on justice. So there is a rock firm foundation on the basis of which our people can go around doing their own things. Not caring whether you have an uncle in government, a mother who knows someone in government, or even when you don't have money, you don't have a cousin, you don't have a nun to call in case you find yourselves in a problem. No. There must be justice for all. And at this point, I would like to call upon the government. Please, today you are in power. Tomorrow you won't. Deal with those who are not with you in a manner in which you would want them to deal with you when you are out there and they are in there. That's simple logic. Dr. Kano Chiza Besje is being incarcerated beyond the mandatory bail period. 188 days passed. A period within which, if they had any investigations, and they were saying they should have proceeded with the case, they have not. So I'd like to ask the Ugandan people, most of them who seem to hide all the time, if a prominent political leader, a war veteran, an officer of NRA, UPDF, that is done to him, what about you? Most of whom don't even have the capability to pick a phone and talk to anybody who can even come to assistance. We must build systems where everybody is below the law, including the president of the country. Government should act. If they have gotten evidence, they should proceed with the case. Dr. Chizabeze should be in his home, enjoying his freedom. It's not only Dr. Chizabeze, there are many young people of NUP who are in prisons. If you have cases, proceed, go, take them to court and argue your case, not to incarcerate them in the prisons without trial. Or pass a law, and then we know. But to masquerade behind the law as you manipulate it is one of the most dangerous things that we can have. We saw it happen in the 60s, it failed. 70s, it failed. 80s, it failed. Even now, it will fail. Let me conclude, and maybe 3 questions, and then we give space for other colleagues who are going to be coming.
Thank you, Candidate Mugisha Muntu. Members of the press, we already have another aspirant walking in already, and we will take 2 questions from you. And yeah, please. So 2 questions, please.
Thank you, Candidate Mugisha Muntu. My name is William Ranga from Beg Media / Beg Television. The defense budget in Uganda takes the lion's share.
Yeah.
You are a former army commander of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, and now you are retired.
Yeah.
What is going to be your position on defense spending in your next government? Thank you so much.
When you build peace within the region, where you don't expect attacks, and you coordinate effort with other countries around the region, to have coordinated effort in neutralizing insurgents and international terrorists, you reduce your defense budget logically. And then you rechannel the resources that you get from defense budget. You put them in the social services sector. That's what we believe in. And 2, if you are not repressive, but I also believe in a strong army, I believe in strong intelligence services, I believe in strong police services, well motivated, professional, and also well catered for. But at the same time, when you don't have repression, the repressive machinery, you don't have any danger of having internal rebellion. Most times the rebellion erupts internally. 2 factors. 1, because of internal mismanagement. But also times when it is generated from the outside. But when you have a well-trained force and you have got a population which is backing you, I can tell you nobody can ever defeat you from the outside, ever. Defeat comes when there is an attack from outside and you are weak internally. I see these, they know all that, those who are in power. But greed blinds, because they are not looking at anything but money, which they are bowing to, which unfortunately they have caused the rest of the country to bow to. Those who pray, pray. This country is on its knees.
Yes, we have the next question, please, a quick one.
Congratulations, President Mugisha. I want to thank you for reaching here. As a Christian and as a general, I want to inform you that Uganda is under siege. I repeat, I want to ask you as a general and as a Christian.
Ask her here.
Planning, through priorities, Uganda is under siege. Which tools are the British and the general going to employ to get out of Uganda of this mess?
In every dark situation, in any society, however dark a situation may seem, there are always remnants. There are people out there in the country who are resilient, who want to see a better country. And those are the ones whom we reach out to. Because the leadership is a critical factor. A country will go up or go down around leadership, the nature of it. That's why to us, the main concentration is focused on how do we get men and women of integrity into Alliance for National Transformation to become the dominant factor. Because we know for sure that the moment we take power, which I believe by God's grace we will, that's when the main struggle starts. There are many people who think that the ousting of Museveni is the main struggle. No. That's the secondary one. The primary one is how do we sort out this mess and lift the livelihoods of the people? How will you do that? Unless you have got deep people who are different in thinking and also in how they act. But if we get the same kind of thinking as we've had since 1962, people who are either driven by pomp and glory or money or like I've seen the whole lot, even when there's physical change, tomorrow General Museveni definitely will get out, one way or another. You can already see it's so self-evident. And then you go in. And then the thinking is no different, which means the actions will be similar. We digress from that. Even if we are to stand alone, that's the path on which we walk. I keep telling people, if me, Muntu, even if I never become a president of this country, but if I can build or help collaborating with people who think alike together, and we build a machine in terms of a political vehicle that can transform this country, I will go to heaven as happy as if I would have become a president. We concentrate on building. We concentrate on organizing. So we call upon the remnants in this country. Wherever you are, don't keep quiet. If you want a better future, we are here. We are a solution. And by God's grace, I believe at some point, wherever that is going to be, whether it is next month, whether it is in May, wherever it is, we will take power in this country, and I can guarantee you, people will know how power can be managed different from how it has been managed hitherto. We are disciplined, we are consistent, we are values driven. That's who we are. May God bless you all.
Thank you, General. Thank you, Candidate Mugisha Muntu. Protocol team, please, can we assist the candidate and his entourage?
Yes, candidate Gregory Mugisha Muntu.
Protocol team, we assist the candidate to exit and his team. And then the support to the processing of the next aspirant who is now accessing the venue. Thank you.
That was retired General